Silver and gold investors, we have a major update for you today, a major warning for you today. It's a massive day in the silver and gold market, and unfortunately, not to the upside. We are honored to be joined today by our good friend Coin Shop Chris. Coin Shop Chris, welcome to Ron's Basement.
How are you doing, Ron? Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you. I was out looking at your channel. I'm going to pull it up here real quickly. And I have a question for you, Coin Shop Chris. I know you've got some warnings, some big news for us. There we are, everybody. We're at Coin Shop Chris YouTube channel. And I scrolled down here a little bit and I saw this right in the middle of the screen, silver. Not just a warning, but a Mayday warning. Chris, can you tell us what is this Mayday warning for silver and gold investors?
Well, I was talking with a guy from India, Ron. His brother lived in a subdivision down here, and it's I want to say really rich, but it's more upper class, I would say, and nice homes. And Amin was happened to go in there on a meeting night, and there was 200 people there, and 25 people came into our shop on a Sunday, and we're not open on Sundays, and they bought over $48,000 worth of gold in silver. 20 of them, Ron. 20 out of the 25 are new stackers. So
okay.
if one person can get 20 people to stack, what do you think that's going to do to the gold and silver market?
I think you need to provide some more clarification for our viewer, because you said that Amin went to this meeting. What did he make a presentation at this meeting? How did this all play out?
Absolutely. He made about a 45-minute speech about silver and gold, what's going on in India, especially where he comes from. And people were really intrigued by that, Ron. What's going over in India, we did a video on that, but I'll just go a little bit on the base a little bit on that. He gives out silver in India, and there's not enough change to give back. They just gave him a list, receipt, and give back him change on that. So we can get his lunches. A silver eagle in India will provide him about 60 days worth of food for lunches.
Wow.
I mean, imagine that. I mean, $100 bill in India can buy you 13 nights at a fancy hotel. That's how far $100 in American money can go in India. Okay. So he was talking about that, and he intrigued a lot of people. And
let me get this straight. There's a man named Amin, and Amin is from India, correct, but he's here in the United States. His brother lives here. His brother lives in a upper crust neighborhood, if you will. And Amin went with his brother to the neighborhood association meeting and talked to 200 people that were at the meeting about silver and gold. Am I correct on this at this point?
That is correct.
And then what happened?
Then people started getting intrigued by it. And so Amin came to us and told us, maybe we should open on a Sunday, do something special for them. And exactly that's what happened. We did our about 30-minute speech with the people, and everybody bought. I mean, everybody bought something from us. And it was just amazing to see that 20 new stackers, are coming on board.
So these are 20 people who had never stacked silver or gold, I imagine, in the past. And because Amin went to this meeting, talked to the people, then he convinced you to open the shop on a Sunday, and you probably had cupcakes and whatever, I'm sure, soft drinks or whatever. But then you wound up converting 20 new people to silver and gold stacking, and the grand total sales for this event were $48,000.
In 2 hours. I want to make that very clear. In 2 hours. I mean, we don't even have a typical day like that in the shop most days. I mean, that is huge. People are getting scared, Ron. I don't know. I'm not trying to fearmonger here, but people are waking up. I mean, I do not know exactly what he said in that meeting. He told me some of it. I mean, but he was not trying to fearmonger. He was just trying to explain the benefits having silver and gold in your possessions.
And he speaks from his experience from having grown up in India, still basically living for the most part in India. Just he came here to visit his brother, and he was like, "What's wrong with these Americans? Right? What's going on here?"
He's basically saying Americans need to wake the heck up. I mean, that's what he's basically saying, because India is part of the BRICS, are going to be a part of the BRICS, and I tell you, he says they're getting away from the dollar every single day in India. And if people don't start waking up when our dollar dies and goes to fiat heaven, we're going to see a rude awakening in our own country, Ron.
Yeah. So big warning from India. We're getting that from China too. I talked to Chinese people, and the Chinese people. I mean, China is in big trouble. Their stock market stinks. Their real estate market stinks. People don't trust banks in China, right? They're like a step ahead of the U.S. And crypto is illegal. I know you love crypto. It's a good thing you don't live in China, Chris, because crypto, Bitcoin, and everything is illegal in China.
Well, that's fine by me. I mean, because I won't stack it. I mean, I won't go put money in that. I mean, how can you use it without no power? And if the internet goes down, it's useless.
Yeah.
I mean, so
well, let's make believe you're Chinese. Can you do that for a second? Make believe you're a Chinese man.
I'm not going to try to talk Chinese. I got a hard time talking English, on.
We love how you talk, Chris. You're beloved on the internet. Fastest growing YouTube channel on the internet. Anyway, let's say you're Chinese, okay, and you have 100,000 yuan, okay. And are you going to put it in the stock market? No. Are you going to put it into the residential real estate market? No. Are you going to put it into a bank? No. Are you going to put it into Bitcoin? No, because you'll go to jail. So what are you going to put it in? What are Chinese people putting their money in, Chris? Any ideas?
Silver and gold.
Right.
I mean, they're buying those little gold beans. I mean, that is what they're stockpiling. I mean, I talked to a woman in Maine that she's from China. She owns a Chinese restaurant. Yeah. And if you hear the lawnmower, I apologize, Ron.
That's okay.
But she is stacking silver and gold herself. She's not into the stock market. She's not into crypto. She's stacking silver and gold because that's what her own country's telling her to do.
Yeah. Think about this, Chris. There's 330 humans that live in the United States of America. Okay. China and India each have 1.4 billion people, right? And both of those countries are, over the last 10, 20 years, and as we project into the next 10 or 20 years, the fastest growing economies on the face of the earth. And they love gold and silver. Mic drop, right? I mean, what else can you say?
Absolutely. It's going to be all about silver and gold, I do believe. And the more and more people that come on board, it's going to wipe out the supply run. We've seen that happen before back in March 2023. And that should have been a wake-up call, but people forget what has happened back in March 2023. And let me remind the people that are watching, you could not get your hands on silver and gold for about 6 weeks until the bullion dealers were able to ship it to you. And a lot of these online bullion dealers had to up their prices, up their thresholds to ship it because they wanted the bigger orders at the time. They all didn't do it, but there's some online bullion dealers did up their thresholds to get free shipping, and Pinbacks was not one of them, though. Right. They did not do that. So I want to make that very, very clear.
I'm going to go out to Pinback's website here quickly. Let's do an update on the silver and gold price, because this is what we're going to call this a live recorded video, because you and I are live at 12:23 p.m. Central Standard Time on November 11th, 2024. And wow, what do you make of this move today in the silver and gold market, Chris? Silver alone is down $1.12. Chris, are you there?
Hold on, Ron.
Uh-huh.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but these lawnmowers, I told you these lawnmowers are coming.
That's all right. What do you make of the silver price going down?
Well, look at the time that it happened, right this morning. About 8:05, 8:30 this morning, right before the markets open, the COMEX crushed the price. That is what happened. They do it every morning. It seems like at the same time, over and over and over again.
Right.
And they just like to monkey hammer everything out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a challenging environment. I know if you look at like charts of the last 2 or 3 weeks, you're right. A lot of the mornings, it's the big downturn in the silver price in particular when the COMEX opens. It's very frustrating. I do want to go back out to channel sponsor Pimbex quickly and say thank you to Pimbex for sponsoring Ron's Basement, making videos like this possible. What they offer you, right, as a basement dweller, as a silver and gold stacker, are a couple things. Great selection, but I think even more importantly, ultra competitive pricing so you can get more metal for your money, and even most important, a company you can trust. So if you enjoy coming down here to the basement, hanging out with Ron and Coin Shop Chris, please consider, we'll never tell you what to do, but consider checking out Pimbex next time you want to get your hands on some silver, gold, or platinum group metals. Chris, what do you make of what's going on in the 90% market right now?
90% market for our shop on, and I'm getting reports from my viewers also, is in short supply. Now, I do have some viewers saying some of their coin shops have buckets full. I think it's what's going on. It's very isolated where the short supply is, and it's very isolated where it's out of stock. Overall, I'm calling a shortage on 90% silver. It's getting to the point where we are trying to find it. Our bullion dealer, Ron, does not have any right now. Has not had any. He gets little spurts here and there, $300-400 face value, and you don't know what Sometimes it's dimes, sometimes it's quarters. So right now, what I'm seeing for the most part is dimes and quarters. Dimes be number one, quarters number two. The half dollars seem to be right now an okay supply, but it's the dimes and quarters all day long. Not trying to fearmonger anybody, Ron, as you know, but if somebody wants some dimes and quarters, pick them up, folks.
How's the time? Well, and you are you're the Fred Sanford of junk silver, the king of junk silver, also known as 90%, also known as constitutional. So if that's what you're sensing, and for me, it's 90% is probably one of the biggest barometers out there in terms of overall demand in the retail silver market. So encouraging news from a investor's perspective that you're sensing that there's some stress in that market at this point.
And right now, people might having problems. Yes, and people might have problems finding silver eagles right now. The 2025s are coming, folks. The 2025s and the maples are out. The 2025s from UKs are coming out. It's just going to take about another month or two before we see. Probably about mid-January to mid-February, we will see the 2025 Eagles come back into stock. If people want backdated Eagles, find your best source to get them at your best price. They're going to get harder to find as we move forward. The 2025s, they will be coming. So, we're having our bullion dealers out of 2024s right now. He does have some other backdated stuff in stock, but it's random. It's really random monster boxes right now he can get.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard something very interesting about the silver market. I want to get your take on this, Chris, that I'd never thought of myself. And this was from like a panel discussion at the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, some convention they had over the last month or so. And this guy was talking about how industrial demand for silver continues to eat up more and more and more of the silver supply. I think they're saying that this year industrial demand is going to absorb like 86% of all the world's silver production. And this discussion panel brought up, this is really good news. And I'll tell you the reason why for silver investors in particular. They brought up this point, like when we get to a point that industry is completely taking up all of the world's silver, it's not like the investors are just suddenly going to stop buying, right? Like once industry's taking it all up, he said, actually, the opposite is what will happen. It'll be like a snowball at that point, and that's when we'll get even more investors coming in. And I thought, I'd never thought about that. I thought that was a very interesting take, and one that absolutely to me seems like the most plausible outcome as we move into an environment where industry most likely will start to absorb most of the silver that's being produced.
It's in our daily lives every single day. People do
Mm-hmm.
every light switch. Your solar panels, you get solar panels. If you have an electric car, it's in our medication. It's in our creams, Ron. Some, toothpastes, toothbrushes. The list goes on and on and on. But there's one key factor that 2025 might bring us. Trump's in favor of silver and gold. He's getting the right people in his cabinet. If people don't like him, that's fine. But this is what we need for our people who we vote in office are in favor of silver and gold. And I think this will blow up silver and gold to a whole new level in 2025. That's my prediction in late 2024.
Well, we like.
Remind you, Ron, my fall prediction was silver was going to be between 2375 and 2800. Well, we passed 2800. My silver prediction for the fall months was 28 to 40. We've been in that range all fall season long. We still got a month to go, but I think I'm going to hit that silver right on the nose. We will trade between those two numbers all fall long.
Yeah. Well, we always appreciate your predictions, Chris. I want to bring everybody out one more time to your YouTube channel. Guys, if you go onto YouTube and type in the search bar up here, Coin Shop Chris, you'll come here. There's some coins. You can press subscribe. He is the fastest growing channel in the silver and gold sector right now and has some really great content. So please go check him out. Chris, any parting words for our viewers today?
No, I want to thank you, Ron. You and your subscribers who've come over, I need to thank them all for all they've done for me. You've been a big mentor to me. Your wife, Susie, has been a big mentor to me. You guys are great. You guys have a great channel. You guys both work your butt off. So, you got to be commended, Ron. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from your channel, Ron, on my channel. It's great to see. People love you, Ron.
Wow,
so, we all love you.
Yeah, well, people love you too, Chris, and you've been working very hard. You deserve all the great success that you're having at this point, and thank you for your kind words. I also want to mention thank you to my other channel sponsors, of course, Pimbex, the online bullion dealer we talked about earlier, but we also have First Mining Gold, Canadian gold developer with 2 multi-million ounce projects in Canada, gold in the ground in Canada, and Fortuna Mining. They're an operating mining company, silver and gold being mined in Latin America, and an expanding gold operation in West Africa. You can learn more about any of the sponsors at the links, which I will include in the description of this video. Coin Shop Chris, as always, thank you. Thanks for your great stories and your insights into what's going on in the market, and we will look forward to seeing you soon.
We will talk to you soon, Ron. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday.
Thanks, Chris. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.